Hey guys, welcome to episode 67 of 4PlayerAnimecast. It is the 6th of May, the day after Cinco de Mayo, 2017, and we are halfway. I think pretty much every series has done episodes 5, 6 or so. I don't think many have done 6, but definitely almost every series has done 5 episodes now. So we are almost exactly halfway into the spring 2017 season. And this time around, we're going to be talking about a lot of the sort of major slice of life. I guess some of the bigger titles that we haven't covered yet. But let's get right into it. I am your host Spire, and I guess I'll be talking more about what I've been watched. Usually I ask like other people, but this time I feel like I should go first because I always try to pass it on really quickly while I try to organize my thoughts. So I've been watching. I've actually been watching stuff here and there. Like, okay, in previous seasons, everybody always like ganged up on me, right? Because they're like, "Wow, you don't watch anime. Like, like, have you watched this series? Have you watched that series?"
Every podcast was, well, I played a new visual novel this week. Oh, an entire fucking visual novel in one night, by the way. And then it's like, oh, you can watch fucking 20 minutes of an episode? Alright, sick.
Haha, I finished the visual novel, by the way. But what's actually really helped me is keeping track, like notes of what episodes of what series I watched, because then I can be like, oh, what series do I actually need to watch to like keep up? So that's actually helped me a lot, and I've watched a lot of different series. I kept up with Alice Sotoku, Akashic Records again. I still really like Buso Shoujo Machiavellianism. Come on, it's like and as well as Sin the Natsu the Taizai, the Seven Deadly Sins, the lesbian thing. But that's that. I did get into more of Sakura Quest, which I'll be talking about later, as well as Tsuki ga Kirei, which was a slice of life, like the super slice of life premise that we previewed during the spring 2017 anime preview, and I really wanted to watch that for the longest time this season, but I finally did get into it, and again, we'll have some more stuff to talk about later. Caught up with Recreator, some other stuff, but that's all about it. I also want to get into some visual novels. A couple of them have been coming out recently, and keeping them on backlog because I've been faithful to my anime waifus. Anyways, Dark.
I can't help but notice you didn't say you were keeping up with Sakurada.
What's up with that?
Yeah, why wouldn't you want to keep up with that?
By the way, do you know about the 3 laws of robotics?
Yeah, spoiler alert. Well, actually, no, yeah, update for Sakurada Quad, Spirit, whatever the fuck that show was called. It's bad.
Surprise!
Surprise! It's really bad.
Oh my god.
Never thought I'd be bored and put to sleep by Kan Hanazawa.
never thought. Yeah, I didn't think.
I never thought I'd be able to fall asleep to that voice, but boy, did that series prove me wrong.
It's very soothing.
It's very soothing. Yeah, soporific.
Yeah,
I'd say, but
yeah, android-like, if some might say.
Yes. Oh my god,
anyway.
Useless powers. Anyways, keep going.
Haven't been keeping up with that. Have been keeping up with Alice. Short update on that too. It got a lot better from the first episode, from what we discussed. So I would definitely recommend checking that out now. See what else. I also watched Tsuki ga Kirei, and I want to say. Oh yes, and I also watched, I think, Sugamomo since the last time we talked. And that show's also fun.
Sugamomo. I actually also did watch Sugamomo. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That show's fun.
That
also,
show's
Boruto continues to be pretty good.
Can we? Okay, I'm pretty sure we've talked about like at least like a hit of Boruto on like every like spring 2017 episode. Can we stop with the Boruto? No more Boruto.
The next generation, okay? Naruto's over. It's that old shit. Yeah.
The age of the ninjas is over, my friends. We're done. No more Boruto. Okay. Anyways, Nier, what have you been up to recently?
Boruto.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
I I haven't been watching that much. I haven't really felt like watching anime recently. Especially with the death, the tragic murder of Nya Torrance.
Yes,
I
yes, yes, yes.
I haven't
We should
really.
talk about that, yeah, later. But
Yeah, we should. Maybe. I don't know.
We can't
It's not.
talk about it. We're being
Maybe it's
watched.
maybe it's
maybe we're
not
being
that big
watched.
of
Yeah,
a
maybe we're on
deal.
the list right now. Yeah.
But yeah, it's been kind of. I don't want to go on Horrible Subs' website and download that shit, but it's like,
Just go on Kiss Anime.
oh yeah, I love pixelation. No thanks.
It's true
Yeah.
1080p.
I just like in the past 2 hours, I just watched like 3 or 4 episodes of Recreators. I almost said ReZero.
There's so much
Which is
stuff out there. It's like Recreators, ReZero, and there's another one, right? The one where they Relife. Yes,
real
yes.
life.
Okay, keep going. Yes.
More like
Also, you're right.
Re. Recreators is pretty good. It's I guess the hot new action meme this season.
I knew you put meme somewhere, but I didn't know when you would like how many adjectives you put between hot and meme. Like I knew you would say meme.
When
So-
when hot is in there, meme is
Yeah.
coming out.
Yeah.
So yeah, Recreators is the how do I put it? The dumb action, I guess, as
Mhm.
some people are putting it, of this season.
The One Punch
It
Man.
is,
you say?
yeah, the show where people go, the story isn't very good, but the action's really nice, so I'm gonna keep watching it.
Yeah. I enjoy it for the. I enjoy it
Word,
for this.
word
I
for
enjoy
word.
it for the action.
Yeah. Recreators is done by Troika, the people who did Aldnoah Zero.
Yeah, it's pretty much pretty much most of the Aldnoah Zero squad, and we can talk about that a little bit later. But again, you said you did like it, right?
The legendary team. Yeah, it's
The squad,
the
dude,
the team that got the one and only Generabuchi for
to leave.
a legendary
after
3 episodes.
So yeah, that team is back.
Yeah,
Kamen
they,
Rider couldn't even get Urabuchi to give up.
yeah. Recreators is, however, done by it's created by the girl
Black
that
Lagoon.
created Black Lagoon,
Hiroere.
which I'd rather she do Black Lagoon than this, but take what you
Spoiler
can get, I
alert for
guess.
our upcoming review, but yes, please do more Black Lagoon. But
Yeah, please hurry up and take Black Lagoon off of hiatus.
no, he's doing Recreators, dude. The Superior Series.
God. But Recreators is another one of those oh so original
So
characters get taken into another world series, but
Yeah.
this time instead of the typical high school boy getting transported into a crazy fantasy world, the crazy fantasy characters are coming into our
High school boy.
world.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
cognizant that like the people on Earth are actually like the story makers and the creators and quote unquote the
Yeah.
gods essentially.
Apparently our world is the land of the gods, and we are the gods of pleasure. And white-haired Nazi girl doesn't like us very much.
Yeah. Okay,
Um,
so we can talk about that a bit later. I know
Yeah.
it's like I've also watched it, and I think so has Dark.
No, I did
No,
not.
okay, never mind. But we can definitely talk about it a little bit more. There's definitely a little bit more beyond just like the action, but I do actually want to talk about it because I think it's going to come up a lot, especially on the Tumblr webs. So we're
Best
definitely gonna,
anime of this season.
we're definitely gonna need to have a talk about that. But anyways, moving on. Definitely last but not least, Toast. What have you been up to these past 2 weeks?
When did Duzeska come out?
I think like The Tuesday after the last podcast, actually.
So yeah, there you go. That's what I've been doing.
He's been playing PSO2 like he's
Oh
doing
my God.
right now.
How did you know I'm playing PSO2?
Because I also am playing PSO2.
Whoa,
Killing Block.
dude. I've
Yeah.
also been I've been watching Chinese anime.
The Tencent one?
Which one? They also came out with the Dungeon Fighter one.
The one that I watched, the one that's like the one that's about the
pro
esports
gaming
thing.
one. Yeah.
Soul
Yeah,
Busters?
yeah, Soulbusters.
It's not Soul Busters. King's Avatar.
Oh, King.
Baited.
Wait, what the fuck?
Soul Busters is the one that was like Chinese knockoff Fate that got really convoluted within the first 3 episodes.
Oh no, that one. That one was like didn't the picture kind of look like some sort of weird like feudal like painting
Yeah, it
thing?
was like
But,
some
yeah, no. Okay, no, that's different. Okay, yeah, the King's Avatar. But yeah,
Yeah, I found translations of like episodes 3, 4, 5, and was it 6? I don't know. I only watched up to 5.
yeah, I want to watch more of that. Honestly, though.
It they
King's
started
Avatar
to
UI skills training.
recycle some assets like you know how they recycle a lot of the action scenes and animations in Gundam Seed, kind of like that.
Oh, really?
Well, if there's one thing Chinese people are good at, it's reusing things.
I'm not sure if it's supposed to be this aesthetic thing or maybe they just ran out of budget. Probably the latter. But a lot of the parts where he's fighting are just copied and pasted into specific scenes.
Yeah, I think they're also too focused. They're much more like focused on not caring about those scenes and caring more just about like the whole like webcomic like esports aspect of it. You know what I mean?
But the thing
Like,
is,
so-
there's also some scenes where it's not just in the game, but also in real life, where this chick, I forget her name. I'm bad with Chinese names. She's fighting the main character, and she makes this surprised face, like, "Oh, how did you beat me this one time?" And then
It was full berserk.
maybe 10 minutes later, in another scene where she's not fighting the main character and she's like leveling her own character, she also makes the same surprise face, and it's copy for pasted the same one. From the previous scene, and
But
I'm
aren't
like,
they
"No,
in a
that's
video game?
Big deal."
Aren't they in a
classic.
video game?
No,
So
this
wouldn't it
is
just be
when
the
he's talking about a real life
same
scene.
Yeah, this is
combat
a real life
animation?
scene.
Yeah, this is
Like she makes this "oh" face when she's fighting the main character, and then she makes it again when they're dungeoning and she kind of sucking at it, and I'm like, you can't hide that from me. I've watched Gundam Seed because I know what recycled animations look like.
yeah.
I
I mean,
watched-
it
Yeah,
seems
I
like
watched Spider-Man too.
it seems like classic, just like Tencent kind of like being like, yeah, you should make this series, but you know, we don't want to give you that much money. So, oh well. I mean, that's gonna be fucking how Tencent rolls. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, with that said, we will move on to our
Okay.
first.
I also remember that one thing you said where I hope it focuses more on the esports thing, and I was like,
Yes,
no, it's
yes.
not going to do that, you idiot. Guess what?
What?
I
You never said that. What the?
I said it
You
right
said
now.
the exact same thing as me.
I said it right now.
All right, go on. What did it do, Toast?
Guess what? I read the Chinese light novel. Oh,
Yes?
hello. Oh, sweet. I got a 13 star.
Okay.
Yeah, wait. Okay, you read it. What happened? What happened,
Guess
Toast?
what? It doesn't start getting the esports stuff until when he gets to the heavenly domain at level 50. Ha! You were
Oh
wrong.
my god.
It's always,
Oh,
it's always heavenly something.
Hell yeah.
heavenly. Okay, seriously? Chinese web novels, if they don't have the words heavenly dragon strike, like thundering something, like it's like our undefeated, unrivaled, a master something something. It's not like it's
Of
probably
destruction.
yeah, of destruction.
I mean, isn't that like the same sort of things with like martial arts films?
Yeah,
where
I
you
mean,
just start
it's like,
remixing.
Yeah, you just start throwing
Three
words in
words.
there.
yeah, you're just like
King
cool
of the fist, champion of the fist,
Yeah.
fist of the king.
unrivaled under heaven and earth kind of bullshit. Like,
Yeah,
but yeah,
but
it's
they get the advantages of being able to say that in less syllables, so they can cram as many fancy words as they want in less amount of space.
all right. Well, I mean, again, I wanted that to happen. I hope that, but
Well,
it's kind
guess
of
what? It
unfortunate that they
won't
kind of.
happen until they get to the heavenly domain.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but again, I mean, again, I don't think that series is like bad, like on its own legs, but I do hope that kind of like develops a little bit more uniquely. But
Yeah,
anyways,
like
yeah, we're done.
you're not gonna get much of the PvP aspect. They're mostly gonna be talking about game stuff and mechanics. Like, oh,
Hmm.
we're gonna use the game to promote our pro team. And then he does
Yeah,
this.
I guess that's like the easier way to kind of sell it because it's like the formula's already there, right, for like that RPG kind of world setting. So
It's gonna
I
be
guess.
more game focused for a long
Hmm.
time until they get to until he gets to the PvP scene. That's not gonna be there for a while.
Yeah,
But
I understand that.
at the pace they're going, I wonder if they'll ever get to it. Or no,
I don't-
or,
Didn't
I
you
mean,
say they're going like
yeah,
50
yeah.
chapters
That's
an
what I meant.
episode?
They're going really fast, so they might get to it really soon. Is what I meant. Leave me
That's a
alone.
complete opposite of what you said.
I'm checking out my sweet 13 star. Leave me alone.
All right. We need to move on. Anyways,
That was amazing.
anyways,
I also watched
let-
the Fate of Arad.
God damn it, Toast.
Sub
Oh,
1.
my
It came
God.
out.
Oh Jesus.
Moving
Anyways,
on.
Pretty cool.
we need to move on.
Not really. It sucks.
The first series we're going to talk about is actually Sakura Quest. Sakura Quest, again, I believe. I do want to let Dark take a hold of this because he was the one who kind of went into it first. He actually did watch more of it before I did. But Sakura Quest, again, this series being done, by PA Works. PA Works doing a series like every once a millennia, right? Those people. The creator is called Alexandra St. Solibidash. Obviously, it's a pen name. Series composition being done by Yokotani Masahiro, who did the script and the series composition work behind Beelzebub, Hataraku Mao-sama, or My Devil is Part-Time, or The Devil is a Part-Timer, Free, ReZero, so on. So quite a lot of big works. And director Masui Soichi, who actually did mainly like storyboard stuff up until now. He also actually did storyboard for the recent Ava and FMA movies, but he's only been like in a main director role for one series, and that is Hitsuki no Chaika, or Chaika like the Coffin Princess or whatever it's called in English, which is kind of funky, but
Did you say Coffee Princess?
Coffin.
Kohi?
Coffee Princess. That sounds
Green
like a
tea.
totally slice of life series. I'd totally watch that. But Hitsuki no Chaika, which is kind of funky. I don't think Hitsuki no Chaika was directed poorly, but I mean,
It was
is it really?
paced poorly, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, it was definitely paced poorly. They didn't really take into consideration the original material very well. But
Yeah.
that plus the chief animation director, as you might have noticed from the artwork if you have watched the series, is Sekiguchi Kanami, who also had the same role in various series such as Charlotte, Hanasaku Iroha, Shirobako, Tari Tari, and Kana. But yeah, that's again Sakura Quest is the basic series is the basic premise is about a girl who kind of fails at getting a job in the city, moves out to get to kind of as a contract to work in the countryside as a quote unquote queen, which is like some sort of like leader / representative job for the countryside village's tourism board. So they find out that the village isn't, or the village / town isn't doing very well. It's an old town. A lot of people are leaving it, or the young people are leaving it. The old people aren't doing anything. So she and her friends kind of get together and try to make this town lively again. So that's sort of how the premise goes. And as you might have guessed, it is a very, very slice of life heavy thing. The producers and the studio themselves said it was part of sort of like a spiritual successor to Hanasaku Iroha, Shirobako, like the series that show characters kind of working throughout their sort of like youth. Anyways, Dark, what are your impressions so far?
So far, I mean, the best way I can describe it is the fastest way is to someone who's seen Shirobako. and it's essentially take Shirobako, but take like most of the intensity of the drama out of it.
Mhm.
Because like Shirobako, it's like her job in that as like a runner for and everything, and like a manager for an animation studio. It's like she has a ton of shit going on.
Mhm.
This is more like, I get like try and revitalize the town. Not many people really care if you do or don't.
Yeah, I think the big thing to point out, and I think this shouldn't pass unchecked, is apathy. So apathy is a big theme in this, which is I think important. It's more than just like, oh well, fuck this, or like this is how I feel about the town, or like determination or whatever. There are plenty of people that are just like, whatever, like
Yeah,
why are you
they're
going out of your way to do this?
yeah.
So
They talk
me.
to they talk to a bunch of shop owners at certain points, and
Mm.
they're like, I don't really care about revitalizing the town because I still make like we can still sustain ourselves anyway
Yeah.
without it. So
Yeah.
there's no
Like,
reason.
what changes
to.
are you really going to do? And this again, sorry if I'm interrupting you, but it's like the girl herself. She's not in like a big role. I mean, she's like part of the tourism board, like the queen or whatever. But she's not really in a big role. She's in like a fake sort of whatever role, and she's trying to do like what she can, right? But
Yeah,
some people listening or whatever might have been in a job or a situation where they're taking on this role that's been more or less thrust upon them, or they kind of went into thinking that they do something, and then they found out, hey, like I'm not able to change my surroundings as much as I want, and it's like I can't just like drag people like across the mud, like that sort of thing.
Or can you? If you get a big old tractor and do that,
God,
it'll
if you
revitalize,
get
make it a tourist attraction.
yeah, if you get a power suit and then you put on that exoskeleton, I'll get into that. Don't worry, it ties in. But yeah, it's a lot of like them sort of like questioning. I guess I want to say I can't really think of the word for it, but it's not really like agency, but it's something else of like their overall ability to even really change things and make an impact. And I guess like the most recent
you
episode.
could just say impact. I think that would be the key word. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the most recent episode really covers the fact that they're trying to put together something now that's like essentially it's like a Kickstarter project. And they're like, yeah, we'll crowdfund it and like people will help us build this giant sort of like not monument, but almost like a oh god, what's that like? They literally compare it to I want to say it's like that Gothic like cathedral or chapel thing that's
Sistine
still
Chapel?
not done. Is it the Sistine Chapel? No, it's not the
Sistine
Sistine.
Chapel.
They do
is-
compare part of it to the Sistine Chapel, but they compare it more to the one that's like still being built and isn't going to be finished being built for like the next few years. The one that's like its construction has been like hundreds of years in the making or something, or like well over 100 years in the making. I don't remember.
The Eiffel Tower.
Regardless, yeah, the Eiffel Tower.
Yes,
sure,
the
that's
Eiffel
fucking
Tower.
the Gothic cathedral of the Eiffel Tower.
Yes.
Damn, I'd have to look it up. Either way,
Taj Mahal.
Cologne Cathedral. Cologne Cathedral.
Yeah, there you
Colon
go.
Cathedral.
yeah, Taj Mahal, Toast.
Taj Mahal. The
Fucking
pyramids
Taj
of
Mahal.
Egypt.
The Sphinx. They're building it. They want to make it like the Sphinx. They're using slave labor. It's great.
Gothic.
Keep going.
So basically now they're like, well, we can sort of make an impact. We're not really going to see much of it, but if we do these small things down the line, this should keep interest going, and like even for like our grandchildren make an impact.
Right.
So I thought that was a very interesting stance for them to take. It's also a lot about what is nice is that at first the protagonist, like, she's reluctant to accept the job, but then after a few days of being there, she like kind of sees the town and she like connects with it, since apparently like sure her background is from like a rural town too.
Yeah.
And also the fact that she hasn't gotten a job for like 32 other companies she applied to in the city.
Yeah.
So I do like the fact that they make her a reasonable character who's like, I
She's
might.
not like throwing a tantrum like every.
Yeah, she's like being stubborn and like go and then tries to like run away to Tokyo at one point. But then now she's on board for the project for her entire year contract
Mhm.
because it's like, well, it's a job and it pays.
Yeah.
So
I'm
you
actually
may
doing
as well, yeah, you may as well stick around and actually accomplish something than, go back and not have a job in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So I thought that was also a really nice touch.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it doesn't play up a lot of the drama. Like it makes like
Well,
it's
the
kind
drama
of
is the
appropriate.
whole. The drama is centered around the crux of the can this quote unquote useless group of girls
That's
do
not nice
anything
to
for them.
say, Spire.
I don't know if
Uh,
it's useless. I think it's the useless agency.
Yeah,
Just
the
because
useless
like the other girls, like one of them was like an actor who was not. I mean, she was like
Like a
played
secondary.
minor roles.
Yeah.
And then there was also, the blog runner and like web designer who
Yeah.
was apparently pretty successful in Tokyo, but decided to move away because she was too stressed out. And then now she lies on her blog about
Mhm.
being friends with bugs in rural Japan.
Yeah.
No, she hates them.
It's the drama is mainly centered around, as you said, the question of impact and the question of apathy. Relatively, I mean, important themes in real life where it's like, should we do more? Can I do more? I mean, it's like, I want to be unique, but it's also like, just doing random stuff or whatever. Is that really helping my cause? What I'm doing? Is it really worth it? Is it better to push, what I've or is it better to push what we're already doing? And these questions these questions come up a lot in your real life, where it's like,
Whoa, it's
I
just
don't,
like me.
just like me, where I don't, I might not be in a place with, or might not be like Mark Zuckerberg or like Vladimir Putin or whatever, or whoever else is on the new list of top people, and
I am.
top most influential people in the world. But it's Uh, but it's
They call him Vladimir Putin.
but what can I do to kind of stake my way forward, even if I'm not just in a place to command other people, or whether I can I can't just be like, oh, I'll be determined and get stuff done. How can I kind of push forward through this? So I think it's slice of life wise. I think it's a very solid series. It asks much more uncommon questions than I have seen in previous series, previous seasons. Much more uncommon questions, and I do really, really appreciate that, and appreciate the fact that it does bring up apathy a lot, where people are just like not willing to, not just like turning away, but rather just like like this is what's going to happen. It's inevitable, or like why are you going out to do this big thing? We could just do this small thing and it'll be fine. And these are small things that can really it doesn't seem like it, but it can drag things down a lot. And not to be the guy that always comes in and says, hey, we should do this and that and blah blah, because we all know those guys. But there are plenty of things, small things that even if it does seem proactive, you can just kind of start doing, and it kind of gets the project up and running, where whether it's like organizing something, or as in Soccer Quest doing like a little Kickstarter, or making a website, or whatever it is. And it's the question of, should we do these? Do we have the capability of doing this? How do we convince other people to do this stuff? And I think Soccer Quest does try to tackle those questions, and I think that's really, really appreciate, honestly.
Yeah, it's also really nice to have a drama slice of life series that doesn't make the drama sort of seem like the end of the world, because it makes it like it seems important, but it doesn't play it up.
It's not like, oh, this is world ending, or like this will change my life, but it's like, oh, I'm stuck here. I need to solve this problem. It's like it's like related to my life right now. I'm gonna be in a relatively shitty situation if I don't. That's kind of
and
it
even
takes it to scale.
Episode by episode drama. It doesn't it doesn't overly do, which is nice as well. Like they meet like a wood carver,
Mhm.
and it's like he's against them changing or like essentially like bastardizing like the Rama wood carvings and whatnot,
Yeah.
because it is a protected traditional artwork.
Mhm.
And like he makes a big deal out of it, and then they like have a character that kind of does his own thing where he wants to carve like um everyday items out of wood, and like
Mhm.
he does a pair of shoes, and then they want to do like other things, but they don't it doesn't get into a giant like conflict with that, and it doesn't make that like a focus or anything. So I did like that, because in a lot of I feel like in a lot of series you'd get that sort of guy who's like, well, I want to protect the art and do it this way, and then you'd have like an entire episode based on changing his mind.
Uh-huh.
Whereas in this, it's not really changing his mind. It's just letting. Well, no, yeah, it doesn't change his mind at all. It's just them finding a way to actually incorporate like that
Compromising,
sort of.
essentially.
Yeah. Essentially, it's compromising between
Yeah.
it.
Like finding a way to preserve his tradition while also using it to help promote sort of.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
using that for promotion. So
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice touch where we don't have characters like we're not going to have a series of like mini arcs where characters drastically change in like an episode.
Yeah, like, oh, now I'm gonna join your, troop.
Yeah, it's like, you're right. I
Yeah.
will join the.
I'll join the party now. That sort of thing. But yeah, I do appreciate that sort of thing happening. But yeah, I think honestly, just to wrap it up, I think this is honestly going to become my favorite show this season, just because of how. I mean, obviously, I have a slice of life bias, but even beyond that, just the theme that it tackles successfully. There's a difference between having a theme and then tackling it well, and then also the decent enough like character interactions that it shows up. I think kind of flesh it out very well. I mean, it's the PA Works guys. They're not gonna really fuck this one up, right? So, but what about you, Doug?
What? What about? I mean, I feel like
Yes.
I have
Yes,
said
that
my
is
piece.
correct. I
I know, like, what are your sort of like any like last thoughts on the series?
Watch it. It's gonna be good. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if it'll be my favorite this season. I'm still kind of trying to decide what my favorite series this season will be. It probably will be that. As like a sort of side note, its ED is also really good. So,
Yeah, the music is pretty
yeah,
decent. So.
it's got a nice got some nice music.
Wait, Neo, did you want to say something before?
What?
Oh,
No.
okay.
Oh
I
my
thought
God, Toast
somebody
had
else was
talked.
trying to
That was
say
Toast.
something.
I agree.
Oh, that was
I
Toast.
agree.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Wow. Are you saying?
I'm sorry.
Are you
I'm
saying
sorry.
Asians
I
sound the
can't.
same?
I'm sorry
Yeah,
that
racist.
somebody, when they smack their lips, I can't tell them apart. I apologize. That is
I
not-
don't watch stupid slice of life shit, okay? I watch
Yeah.
real
Apologize.
anime.
real
Like Berserk
adult anime.
2017.
Adult anime.
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of real mature adult anime, we will now move on to Recreators.
Oh.
Again, Recreators, being done by Troika, the people who did. Again, this is 80% of the staff who worked on Out No Zero. We've already reviewed the series in our podcast. It was relatively mediocre how it ended up, but the story and how some like the mech designs and everything kind of ended up. Themes are not established well. Again, Urobuchi left by episode 3. Everybody knows this deal. Director of series, Aoki A, Fight Zero / Out No Zero. Creator, Hiroe Rei, again, as Nier said, did Black Lagoon, and music by the classic Sano Hiroyuki.
The one and only.
The one and only.
Who
I don't need
is
to
here?
introduce
No, who? Who is
Shut up. Shut up.
Okay, so again, I mean, Nier already kind of said what the Recreator's premise was, so I guess we'll get right into it. Let me kind of ask you more like a general thematic question. So again, this is centered around, in my opinion at least, and you can correct me if I'm wrong after this.
Oh, you're wrong. No, I don't know.
The themes are centered around this initial creation of the story and like the characters, whatever, right? And the Earth people make these characters, and they are quote unquote the gods slash the creators. But then, what Recreators wants to establish is that then these characters kind of grow a life of their own, and then they kind of go through this thing where it's like, what would happen if these characters kind of really did start thinking for themselves and reflecting and interacting with their creators? How would they change? I think that's sort of the crux of it. Like what happens when characters achieve independence, and how would it be portrayed in like a more sort of focused setting? So
What if anime was real?
what if anime was real? But yeah, do you think I'm accurate about what I'm portraying as the central kind of discussion? And if and what do you think?
I mean, what I got out of it was kind of the characters come into the world, and because they're told by the cute white-haired Nazi girl that like
voiced by Toyosaki Aki, by the way, doing a very dark role for once.
She's very nice. She only gets like 10 seconds of screen time every episode.
He's very evil. Okay.
But, they're told by her that this is the world of the gods, and your creators are the gods of pleasure, or whatever the fuck she calls it. Like
hedonistic. We're just like doing an orgy every day.
Yeah, as some writers tend to say about human beings.
Yeah.
But they come into this world with this idea that this is just everybody who's a creator is like a god who can create worlds and stuff. And then as they live in the real world, they have to come to realize that they're just normal people, right? And they just write stories for enjoyment, and for some strange reason
Do you think the whole so that is like a thing that they like discuss for a bit? Like the creators are just humans, and they go into that one at a time. How important do you think that is in the story compared to the whole characters' independence or whatever?
Well, I mean, the main conflict between like the red-haired main girl and the white-haired magical girl with the other characters is like,
wait, the Nazi girl or the magical girl?
The magical girl, not the
okay, yeah, go on. Yeah.
Like their conflict with the Nazi girl is like, I don't like you. You don't seem like a good person. Like that's the initial. That's the initial conflict. Like nobody who's a good guy laughs like that. It's like, oh, okay. This is our reason to fight now. Okay, but it seems like the characters that are currently siding with the Nazi girl are going to like come to realize this isn't the world of the gods. These are just normal people, and this like uprising that this girl is talking about probably isn't a good idea, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to.
I mean, it's probably going to center around like what one of the characters are kind of trying to hint at, which is at the end of the day, it's like fixing up kind of like a cage, right? And it's like how much fixing up of a cage can you get? And at the end of the day, it's like it's just their world, right? Might as well just live it, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, I agree.
I'm just watching it for the action scenes, man.
Honestly, what do you think about so this is one of the problems I had with. I mean, I had two okay, I wouldn't call them major problems. They're kind of like whatever. Like this is kind of what I expected this series to end up like, which is one. The action scenes are kind of just put there, and I know, yes, people are going to be like, "Well, of course, you just put an action scenes or whatever." And it's like, no, what I'm saying is that like they kind of like say stuff, and then suddenly, boom, action scene kind of hits. Like they just kind of go from 0 to 60. Like
I mean, the best example of that is the second episode when they introduce the magical girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's like, "Hi, I'm a magical girl. Watch me transform." Yeah. And then the main character is like, "Please don't make a commotion. We're fighting now."
Yeah.
Oh. What?
I guess it's happening.
like one scene, it's like, "Please don't make a commotion," and then the hard cuts to a fucking explosion, and it's like, what? What caused this?
What's happening? Yeah. It's I don't know. It's a little bit too disconnected for my taste. That the action scenes are there. The action scenes themselves are pretty fantastic, to be quite honest.
Yeah, they're
As Garrett
nice.
can attest to. But I
mean,
wish they were a little bit less like, oh, we're fighting now. Like,
yeah, it shows Troika's decent, at least, at animating stuff that isn't bad CGI robots.
yeah, the
Um,
bad CGI grimace robots.
yeah, it helps that they again have Hiroyuki Sawano doing the music, which is very
Yeah.
good, as usual. A bit more dubsteppy than his usual works, but it's not bad. Pretty good. But yeah, it looks really nice.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not gonna say a single thing against that sort of thing. They have more than like. Have you seen the? Have you seen how much money that they poured into like just? I mean, like not just like the cast, but it's also like the different like studios and stuff like that that help them like assist stuff so on.
Yeah,
But,
they've got like Aniplex and stuff behind it, so
yeah, they've got so much money.
yeah.
But that's one thing, and the other kind of thing I want to point out was that like they're saying all these things about character independence slash agency, like what would characters want from their gods, from their creators? What can they get after all, since the creators are flawed? Um, what would be the best thing? Is it better to kind of do something else? Is it better for characters to follow their own whatever? Um, do you think these sorts of themes are told in a coherent manner so far, or do you think there's a little bit? Because I feel like, um, oh, it's kind of going all over the place. It's kind of a mishmash, and they're not telling it in not necessarily the right sequence, but they're kind of trying to do everything at the same time, and all the eggs are just dropping to the ground. So it's like one scene they could be talking about like, oh, I want to know, what the creator thought of me, and then the other one's like, oh, I want to just be like, we're suddenly talking about character agency, like how free are we, and then the other one is like, I want to talk about your determination, you have to do your best, stuff like that, and then the other one is just like, what makes a character real in a sense. Like they're talking about it, within the context of the anime, like powers and stuff like that. But it's quite clearly like an allegory for what makes a character real, right? Like when they do her power stuff, right? Like when they draw it out and everything.
Yeah.
But I think it's going a little bit too much all over the place. It's trying to do everything at the same time, and it's not doing everything very well. And it's also like it's a cute premise. The whole like, well, what happens, when characters are independent? But it's not. Is it really asking a unique question? I mean, I've seen other series like that, but I'm not entirely sure if it's asking something super unique, or whether it's even answering that in a confident manner, because the anime also needs to have an answer for that sort of stuff, but I'm not sure whether it's providing it so far. But what do you think about that?
I mean, it's definitely asking a lot of questions right now.
Yeah.
I have a feeling the main issue with that right now is probably the fact that bless you, cute Nazi girl is like has no screen time at all, right? And she's the one.
Oh yeah, she's like the crux of the.
Yeah, she's the one asking all these questions. She's the one raising all these questions. So when she's not there, it's like, well, she's not asking them. So what are they going to answer, right? I think in terms of like them, like when they were drawing out, them trying to give them new powers or whatever, and like new character descriptions or whatever, and then they were like, well, the general public has to see it or something, so that way it's accepted, and then that way it'll take effect or something. That was kind of, I don't know, a little weird. You'd think they just have the creator rewrite the character, and then that would be.
Well, are they?
But
like,
does a
in my
story
opinion,
exist if no one's read it?
yeah, it's like the if a tree falls in the forest kind of shit, but with characters. I think they're trying to do this like weird, complicated allegory for like what makes a character independent from like once it gets written, because it's like I think the step, in my opinion, it's like the step is like initially everything is like written out, right? Like the characters themselves, their initial personalities, whatever, are kind of thought out, and then the character does stuff, and then, in my opinion, when people think a character is like independent, like when writers are just like, yeah, the characters kind of like wrote their own stories, when they say that in like afterwards and stuff like that. In my opinion, that's when characters' personalities, they've like written out enough of the characters' personalities to the point where they can do, I guess, what's known in software as the greedy algorithm, which is it's an algorithm that takes the most like locally, like in the surroundings, optimal route. So it's like if you see like the best thing like within your sight of vision, boom, you go for it. So when a character's personality is developed enough to do that, I think is when authors believe that their characters have become independent. So I think it's struggling with that sort of idea, like when does a character become independent? Does a character become independent with that sort of power thing? But I don't know. It's a little bit incoherently written. So.
Yeah, I mean, they do imply that the main redheaded girl is like pretty much that. Like, whoa, she's so real that she can, argue with her creator in such a human-like manner and shit.
Yeah, that part was like really kind of like, it was a little bit awkward, I think.
Yeah, like, whoa, it's like a parent talking to their kid. Whatever.
Yeah,
But,
it's a parody, dude. Come on, get with it.
yeah, it's just a parody, dude. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how well it's gonna deal with the like characters being human kind of thing, especially with cool sunglasses guy just being like, "You do you, man. Whatever."
Yeah, I don't care about my shitty world.
Yeah, YOLO. It's like,
Yeah.
whatever. But I don't know. I did like the scene with the magical girl where it's like just because in your world you can fight in the name of justice purely with violence, that doesn't work anywhere else, kind of thing. I do like the idea of like a character being in a very fantastical world coming into a very different world and having
being aware of cultural context, essentially.
that shock that's like, things don't work like they do in my world, Yeah. That was an interesting
and
scene.
it's not just a standard like, oh, this is a crepe, that scene, like that scene.
This is people food. This is money.
This is family restaurant. It's like,
yeah,
God damn it.
It's talking about
times.
Yeah, it's talking about like ideas and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you can't do that kind of stuff in this world because people don't work like that.
Yeah.
It's a nice idea, and I hope there's a little more of that because I feel like it's something that not very many series really do. Bringing a character into another world and having them actually, realize, oh, I have to change my way of thinking about like the way I do everything.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting idea.
But yeah, in conclusion, like I just really, really hope that it does three things. First of all, it organizes its thought, like what it wants to do, instead of just like, oh, here's an idea, here's like something, here's just some like random discussion around talk about 2 minutes. They need to focus on like a couple of ideas, and that kind of leads into the second point, which like they need to make it clear whether they're going to be talking about character agency. Like at one point in the story, does the character become independent? Where does or whether it's about the question, what would happen if a character and their creator met, and like what would they talk about, stuff like that. Is it about that? Is it about some sort of thing about what makes a character real or something like that? They need to make that clear, and finally, they need to make sure they just they need to make sure they package this in a nice manner where it's like, you have the explanations, you have whatever, and that leads up into maybe a difference in values, which leads into the battle scenes in a relatively, moderate pace, not just like, oh, fuck you, let's fight. Like that's not it. That's not how it works. But yeah, what about you in here?
They need to give Hime more screen time. That's my thoughts. I don't know. I just hope it doesn't go the way of just, oh, the story's not that great, but the action's pretty good. So I do want to see more like focus on the actual like characters dealing with the world and characters kind of coming to terms with the world and realizing, creators are just normal people, and you got to deal with that. And
Right.
uh, like just because they created you doesn't mean they're responsible for everything you dealt with, because they were writing a story and they
Yeah.
had to they were writing it for.
And they don't know everything.
Yeah, they can't make your perfect world, because they have to create some struggle in your life to create an interesting story and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But,
that's the big thing. I think that could be like an interesting like for a short discussion. I don't know whether it would be suitable for a longer discussion, but
yeah, I mean, I don't want it
It's
to
like-
be like an entire theme throughout the show, but like
Yeah.
for a character to ask their creator, why was my life so hard, kind of thing.
yeah. So you know what I was going to do. That I know like somebody's going to bring it up, if not me, or like somebody outside is going to bring it up. But that's exactly essentially the story of Job in Christianity, right?
Yeah.
Job asks God, "Why are all these bad things happening to me?" Right?
Yeah.
And if they can bring that in, I think that would be a pretty fucking cool discussion to have, at least for like a short while. But
Yeah, it would be an interesting scene. But
Mhm.
I don't know, I just hope it doesn't kind of continue with, here's a few story bits. By the way, here's some explosions, and we're fighting now.
Yes, do your
Yeah.
best, writer boy, like
Yeah.
or drawer boy. Yeah,
Yeah.
do your paper drawing thingies.
But yeah, it's an interesting show. I hope it goes well, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely think it has more potential than Alno's Zero did at this point in the show.
Well,
in the season.
at this point, at the point we're at right now, Genorobuchi is
has
gone.
already left the building. Has already left the building.
So we're currently better off,
yes,
because people are not leaving the show. So
people who were able to market the series, the series to that extent, have not left the show.
yeah. But yes, I do want to see Hime, the white-haired Natsu girl, get much more screen time, because she does seem to be the bringer of questions, and she's also, the the poster character of the show, and the character they're marketing the
She's
hardest.
spending too much time just sitting in abandoned buildings muttering to herself.
Yeah.
Alright, so
I don't know.
something Setsuda, something destroy Messiah world.
Don't forget my OC, please. Yeah.
Jesus.
If
Yeah, I
you
want
were
to see.
If you
Yeah.
were in the Recreators world, what would your OC character be?
Cold Steel.
Yeah. The edge blood.
Nothing personnel, kid.
Nothing personal. Okay. But yeah, that's thanks for the last words, and yeah, again, we are hoping for a little bit more out of it, and but it is definitely an interesting romp if you do choose to watch it. So check it out. And moving on, finally, the last series is Tsuki ga Kirei. And Tsuki ga Kirei is the slice of life series I decided to kind of take it upon myself to watch. It is a series by Feel Studios. Series composition being done by Kakihara Yuko, who actually did the series composition and script for Orange, Kiko Shoujo wa Kizutsukunai, who is actually Unbreakable Machine Doll, and Sora no Toshimono, or Heaven's Lost Properties. So she's actually done a lot more fan service series than I expected from a person kind of coming into this. So that's director is Kishi Seiji, who did Humanity Has Declined, also known in Japanese as Jinrui wa Suitai Shimashita. I think My Bride is a Mermaid, Setsu no Hanayome, Angel Beats, Assassination Classroom, and Carnival Phantasm. So the director is like an actual person. Like he's a thing.
A real human being.
An actual human being. Oh, by the way, if you don't know who if you don't know any of like Field's recent works, they did この美術部には問題がある, or this like this what is it? Art club has a problem or something like that. この美, the Kashikashi, Bikini Warriors, 俺がいる stuff. So yeah, that's what they did.
The legendary Kiss Excess.
Kisses. Anyways, so Tsuki ga Kirei, again, a series about a couple of high school boys and middle school boys and girls, obviously going through starting to go through puberty and stuff like that, getting tangled up in some relationship stuff, and along with it, the whole like heartaches and whatever else that comes with middle school, high school drama, right? And it's much more both the audio visuals and sort of how the characters act. They act much less sort of dramatically. They don't like scream at each other. It's not like an Anohana thing where they're just like crying every time. It's much more geared towards a shoujo josei-ish feel, but it still does have its like drama and so on. The main character is a bookworm guy, and he does his bookworm things. Talks about Dazai, who is a famous Japanese author. The author Dazai is actually like similar to what Twain or Steinbeck or Fitzgerald or Hemingway would be in America. And the girl is a track girl, and they get together and relationship stuff happens. But anyways, that's the premise. I've watched it, and I've also had Dark watch it. So.
What do you mean you had me watch it?
I forced it down your throat.
I think I'm just like
to his head.
your puppet or something.
Yeah. But yeah, Dark. What did you think about it?
I mean, I like it overall, and I'm gonna stick with it. But there are not quite a few, but there are a few things that I really don't like and hope that kind of go away, but they probably won't. One of those being the like Dazai theme.
Yeah.
I don't like it because it's stupid.
It's just him. No, it's just because he's like a bookworm thing or whatever.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like the quotes are, it starts getting like kind of silly when at the beginning of an episode the character goes, "I don't want anyone to read my work because no one can influence you and you can't influence anyone else." And it's like, you're in your final year of middle school. What the fuck? Like that make like
Middle school is the Chunibyo years.
Chunibyo. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but like that's what that reads as. Like, I understand that might have been in like one of Dazai's like works or something, but it just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with it not making sense. But I think in this case, I can excuse quite a bit of it. And usually I don't, excuse these things. I'm just like, what are you just saying? Like, stop saying like random bullshit or whatever. But in this case, like, they are purposely portrayed as like these, not angsty, but like really kind of like awkward and like kind of stupid middle schooler people who kind of are taking their first steps into knowing stuff about, relationships, interpersonal relationships, and so on, right? So
yeah. I can definitely like forgive it because it was only there for like an episode, but I just don't want that to be a theme that
so
keeps
pervasive. Yeah.
I just don't want him to be like every other episode talking about like some fucking lesson from Dazai, and then at the end of the episode he's like, "Oh, I guess that really isn't true, huh?"
Yeah. I think it's more just like a little like quirk than anything else. I think they're kind of trying to spin it as quirk. Like how in like ACCA, like like the dude how the main character's always like smoking tobacco because he's cool and stuff like that. I think it's that sort of quirk more than anything else, in my opinion.
Cigarettes are only for rich people, man.
But I got a whole pack of them because I'm cool. Yeah, I think it's that sort of thing more than not. It is a little bit annoying tick, but again, that's sort of the context.
Yeah. Other
What'd you
than
think of
that,
it?
I'm trying to think what Because I mean, the only other real problem I could say that I have with it is like the I guess like the 3D elements, like you were talking about, the CG. It
Yes,
doesn't
yes, yes.
blend.
Oh.
It doesn't blend well at all, really.
There are like parts where it's like I think they tried quite hard to make a lot of it as like 2D as possible, but then they kind of ran out at some points where it's just like
Yeah.
there are parts where it's like everything in the foreground is like 2D, and they're like, oh, it's all nice and it's
As
well
soon
done.
as you get past that, though,
and then like everything in the middle and the background is all 3D.
I'm waiting to see a character start walking into the background and turn 3D as
Yeah,
they go.
exactly. I want some like flatland shit going on. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
So it's that it was pretty weird seeing that. But overall, I think it's a nice change of pace for a lot of romance series that I've watched recently. But I mean, for me, it's been like a lot of romantic comedies, but
yeah.
where romance doesn't really take the forefront. But I think it's a kind of a nice change of pace to see a lot of character interactions from both sides, from like the girls like friends and the guys friends. Also
And family.
seeing the family interactions was really nice, because that's not really something I feel like a lot of series include.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
they might have like the family episode where it's like, haha, here are the families.
Yeah,
like,
or like a
this is like
flashback, or like
they're
push on the back or something like that. But not.
yeah. But
Mhm.
like this, they're very much present at like all times.
Which is like a thing, like an
Yeah.
actual thing in life. But
Yeah, which does also get into the other thing that I really like about it, which I mean, I'm not, an expert on dialogue, but I feel like that a lot of the more what might be considered like insignificant dialogue in this is a lot more natural.
Mhm.
Like, and a lot of just the interactions in general. Not between the main two characters. I'll
Yeah.
get into that after, but like you brought up the other day, like with the dad at the table, like puts on his glasses, looks over, and he's like, "Oh, she's pretty cute." And then the mom is like, "Stop."
Yeah, it's like making those casual comments because like the dads and families will like do that, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, look, like is that the girl? Like something like that.
Yeah, so like that was nice. The interaction between like the girl and her sister was really nice. There's like a lot of insignificant things, like her sister makes fun of her. She's like, "Oh, are you texting your boyfriend?" And to get back at her, she picks up her phone and like when she walks away, and
Waste
starts
like the
taking,
battery or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
she starts taking screenshots of her lock screen, which I
Yeah.
thought was really neat. And also like yeah, I'll get actually back into that a little right after this briefly, but there's also a scene where two characters are like playing games on their phones in like a, what was it, when they were on like their overnight school trip,
Yeah.
and like I feel like their dialogue like between each other, like talking or reacting to the game, was really natural. To me at least, like they weren't.
They put in a lot of those details.
Yeah, it seemed really nice because they weren't really playing it up, and it was believable that like these are two people playing a game, and this is like sort of the types of things they say out loud when stuff
This
is
is
going
actually
on.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah. And then just really quick, going back to the whole like taking screenshots of a phone sort of thing too. That kind of wraps into it because I feel like that was a really not played up moment, but also incorporated sort of a, I don't want to say like super new interaction, but it's something that I feel like I haven't seen in a show really, where it's a non-played up gag of like technology and how like newer forms of technology, like there's new interactions people have with each other and like new situations like that.
Yeah.
Like 10 years
Like
ago,
line thing.
like 10 years ago, like you wouldn't see someone fucking taking screenshots as like a way to mess with someone on their cell phone. Like that's just not something that happened.
Yeah.
So I kind of really like an inclusion of something like that, and I feel like
And-
I'd like to see more of that in a lot of shows. 'cause
and
I
in
feel
the
like
story, like they
you
also
incorporate
used
that.
line as like a very sort of strong like driving point, right? In the
Yeah.
story. So I think that sort of thing it's not often seen. Like
Yeah, you might see anime that are just like it's an anime. When does it take place? Oh well, it's the current year and current time.
yeah.
It's
It's
2017.
2017.
And they're still like driving on their fucking like they're like driving forward on their rickshaws with toast in their mouth, shit like that. Like
Yeah,
just text guys. Like
it's like seeing that sort of thing where it's very conscious of the time it's being made in
Mhm.
is nice, because there are a lot of anime that I feel like try to quote unquote seem timeless in that way, but wind up just seeming outdated because it doesn't
Yeah.
include these sorts of things.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was kind of
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that's actually really good point that you mentioned there. I definitely do agree, and I actually forgot about that sort of those couple of uses of technology, but I did want to bring that up later. Um, the one thing that as you pretty much covered everything I really kind of in specific I do like about the series, which is like paying attention to the details and the technology thing. I think again, in my opinion, a lot of the like sort of awkward things can be forgiven because it's again they're it's all like the point is that they're middle schoolers that are kind of like bumming around. Um, but what there is one significant flaw to this, and I would say the whole like when they're going through the romance stuff, the script, the story, and the way it brings up the pacing of the misunderstandings that come up, like the relationship misunderstandings and the drama and stuff like that, and like stuff like love triangles or whatever, potential love triangles, stuff like that. They're coming a little bit too hard and too fast, and I don't like it. It's like oh, here's a problem. Here's a problem. Like handle this. Like this is an obvious problem. You gotta deal with this right now. And I'm not a big fan of that. Because problems like that like don't just kind of like it's not like there's an automatic baseball pitcher, right? Like a machine baseball pitcher just throwing you these relationship problems all the time. Like they happen in a time and place. Maybe they rise up like slowly or whatever, but it's happening a little bit too fast and a little bit in a too obvious manner. Like this guy, this other dude who's in a very close relationship to her, she might be creeping on her now. You gotta solve this problem. Don't be ambiguous, but obviously they'll be ambiguous and awkward, right? Because they're middle schoolers, and you gotta solve this misunderstanding within 4 to 5 episodes. Like shit like that, I really don't like. I like instinctively reject, and I just don't think it was organic enough. What do you think?
No, yeah, I very much agree with that. I was hoping you were gonna bring that. Well, I mean, I pretty much knew you were gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
Just getting a little meta there because we already talked about that a little bit. But I do really agree with that. I wish they would kind of speed it up with that. Like I feel like because we're on episode 5 now, right? I think episode 5 is
this is episode 5, yes.
and like episode 4 seemed like that was when they were going to be like in a full relationship, and they were like, well, maybe not. I don't
And
know.
then take it to do a little bit more of like the after story kind of thing instead of we're slowly working up to the relationship and then there'll be problems.
Yeah, I don't like that much because, like you said, it's not like this story doesn't seem to be taking place over a very long period of time, and we don't have that many episodes.
Yeah.
So you can't really make it seem like there's a break between any of like these relationship like dramas and issues when it's developing. But I'd like to see a lot more of things that happen while they're still in the relationship, because I feel like you could probably justify things happening while they're already in the relationship like more often. Like I feel like you can justify that, like, well, maybe like every 3 days like something happened, you kind of got to deal with this situation when they're actually in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because like right now, when they're not in a relationship, it's like, is there really? It doesn't seem that much like that genuine when they're having these random conflicts every like
Yeah,
fucking
they're just
day
kind of like
towards
popping
each
up like
other.
magically, and it's like so obvious, like right. It's like when the other girl kind of comes up, you're like when the other girl who's like her friend, right, the main heroine's friend, like comes up to the MC, you're just like, oh my god, like can I just
Okay,
sit
you
back
know.
and cover my eyes right now? Like I don't even want to watch this for like the next 10 minutes. Like I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're trying to like. It's weird what they're doing with that because they're trying to do that for both parties, where like they have that friend for the guy, and then for the girl they have like that
Yeah, the
one
other
other dude on the
dude,
track
yeah.
team. Who's
Like
like,
to
oh,
be fair, the way they're resolving it, like the two are resolving it, isn't bad. Like it's relatively natural because again they're like awkward, but it's like the problems themselves are just like, oh my god, like stop giving them these problems. We don't
yeah.
have.
And if you want to give them those problems, make them resolve it like much faster. Like we don't
Yeah,
need an entire episode for this.
yeah, but yeah, as a closing kind of statement, I still do think it's probably one of the best, if not, yeah, one probably top two, top three slice of life series this season. Again, if it does resolve these problems in a timely manner, it gives us a little bit of after story and more, then I'd really appreciate it instead of dragging out these problems. But if it does drag out these problems a little bit too much, then it's going to be a little bit kind of iffy. Also, one last thing, they do this thing. It's like after I think the ending, yeah, after like the ending song, they do this thing where it's like they show like little mini skits of like the people around the main MC and the
Oh
heroine,
fuck! I
like
didn't
doing
know
these
that.
like little, yeah, having these
I
like
should
little
probably. I
relationship
gotta go back and
things.
watch those.
Yeah, little relationship skits, and they're like, oh, you know, like what do you want to do, like stuff like that, and like these little funny like quirky kind of things that happen between them, and I really enjoy the stuff that happens in those, or like they're like little cutesy cheesy things, but I really do appreciate that they took the time and effort to like do those. So watch
Let's
those
talk
too.
about. Let's talk about as a closing that guy's hair and what
God.
color it is, because I don't know.
Yeah,
Is it pink? Is it blonde?
there's like one there's one there's like one of the sidekicks to the MC that has like whitish pinkish hair. Like if you guys have ever watched Guilty Crown, the main heroine, like Inoi or whatever, Yuzuriya Inoi, like that's like exactly their hair color. But the problem is everybody else in the story has regular hair, and I don't know what's going on. So
Maybe he's just trying to express himself and
yeah, just trying to be free, GU. Just try to be GU right there. But yeah, that's about it. Any last words from you, Dark?
uh, not really. I like the diversity of the cast. Sort of like the way the characters are. Like there's a pretty diverse cast. You know, that one guy's got pink hair. His other friend's a big guy.
Yeah, the
He's like
sidekicks
fucking.
of Destiny.
He's like 6 feet tall
Uh-huh.
and like heavy. So I thought that was pretty neat seeing
Yeah.
seeing someone like that. You know, more representation than that. I'd say. Not really. I don't know.
Yeah, hashtag diversity.
It was pretty cool though. I mean, it's just nice to get like a cast of like pretty distinct characters.
Yeah. But yeah. Again, much hopes for the future. Hope it doesn't go a little bit too hard on the drama, but that's about it for Tsukiga Kirei. And with that, we have covered all three major series that we want to cover for this episode of the podcast, and we are moving on to the news. We don't actually have that many news this time around. At least, like, not that much, like, super interesting news. First news. Kemono Friends' new game arrives this summer as a smartphone app. Yes. The thing that everybody... Yatta! Yatta! The thing that everybody has asked, literally everybody in the world has asked. Kemono Friends, the sort of viral sensation, turned anime, turned chibi, turned whatever bestiality, has become a smartphone app. Which, I mean, it was a smartphone app before, right? So
Yes, it was.
I guess it's like a relaunch. Yeah.
It was a gacha game that fucking died because nobody played it.
Yeah, and then it became a meme. Yeah,
And then they made a really, really shitty anime,
yeah,
and it became a meme.
yes.
And now they're
Yes.
making another one because it'll actually make money.
Bushiroad is doing it. Bushiroad, the people who, I mean, they've done quite a lot of stuff. I think their more recent project was probably something like, I mean, their more well-known recent project was like Love Live School Idol Festival, stuff like that. But they're working on this, obviously, now. So if you did enjoy Kimono Friends and you want to meme harder, check out the smartphone app coming up. A little bit on the number side, two series that you guys might really, really enjoy have hit record marks, or there's some pretty high marks in print. Edo Manga Sensei novels have 1 million copies in print. And My Youth Romantic Comedy is Wrong, also known as やはり俺の青春 Love Comedy は間違っている, also known as 俺がいる. That light novel has 5 million copies in print. So congratulations to them, and somebody stop this vomit from coming out my mouth.
Well, maybe if he didn't buy all 5 million copies, Spire, we wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I apologize, friends. I'm just a closet Oremo. Which
it is slice of life.
Yes,
This falls within your jurisdiction.
the worst part is I've probably consumed more Oremo merchandise than most Oremo fans, which is really bad. But what can you do?
You just open your
That
mouth
is-
and stick it all in there.
That's really bad, dude.
That's really bad. I've watched slash like played through all of the Oremo games. This is really bad.
You need to see a doctor, like right now.
Like I've done like the one where it's like the fan desk Emoto one. I've done like both like the original like visual novel game and then like the out sort of rehash reboot game thing. It was, oh my god.
Which one was the
Dude,
pregnant
your
one?
liver is gonna like give out if you keep doing that. You
Spire,
can.
Spire, which one was the pregnant one where you got them both pregnant and you had to do something about it?
Wait, what?
What do you mean do something about it? Like
Wait,
maybe
what?
someone has an accident on the stairs?
Mhm.
Like
Wait, what?
Huh?
Wait, you got them what? Wait, could you repeat that?
Wasn't there one where you got both characters pregnant and then you had to do something about it?
Both characters pregnant? I don't know about both characters. They're only like single routes. There's no harem.
Are you
The
sure?
fan desk is the only harem route. Yeah,
I still really want to know what you mean
but
by
you do get them
something about
pregnant.
it.
You do get like every one of them pregnant because there's like the
At the
epilogue
same
is always
time.
like, yeah, at the same time, exactly. But in each of the routes they always have like a baby or whatever. They
Yeah,
like, they're
you,
like, oh, you're
Like a 14-year-old baby. Oh boy.
Kuroneko one is like really weird because it's like, because you know how it's like Kana Hanazawa voices Gokururi slash Kuroneko in Oreimo. She voices the elder younger sister, like the second sibling,
How can
right?
you be an
Better
elder
one.
younger sister?
Yeah. The second sister, the third sister is voiced by Ogura Yui, I believe, and then in this one, she also voices the daughter between Kuroneko and the MC. So she's like trying to voice 3 different characters at the same time in the epilogue.
you ever have
Dude,
you ever
just
have a
making a one-man
conversation with
show.
your child as a
You
mother,
and your son,
but
and
you are the child?
yeah. So I'm like trying to listen to this and not laugh at the same time, but it's really hard. but she does a decent job. I mean, her daughter is also essentially Kuroneko, so it's like,
But
whatever.
Spire, are you sure
Ah.
that's Kana Hanazawa?
Hey, shut the fuck up. Hey, shut the fuck up.
We've had this problem before.
We've had this conversation
Specifically with this series, right?
Shut up, dude. Alright. Anyways, moving on. The Asahi Shimbun newspaper announced the winners for the 21st annual Tezuka Osamu Cultural Prize Awards on Tuesday. So this is one of the bigger sort of like manga awards out there in Japan. And they give it out to a bunch of, again, good series, so you guys should check these titles out if you guys are interested in taking a peek at, more unique manga. The grand prize goes to Hana ni Shisomu, published by Shueisha, written by Kuramochi Fusako. See this? That's actually, it's like a story about like accident and like apparently mental illness. Interesting. The new creator prize, and this one Nier might recognize, published by Kodansha, it is Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju, written by
Yeah.
Kumoto Haruko. And the short work prize goes to Yomori Neko by Fukaya Kaoru and published by Kodansha. So the committee awarded the special prize to Osamu Akimoto for his Kochikame manga, which he ended in September of last year after Kochikame manga, which he ended in September of last year after 4 decades of serialization.
Oh wait, that
So-
series actually ended? Dang.
Yes. So again, congratulations to all those winners, and if you guys are interested, please do check
The
those out.
age of ninjas is indeed over.
Another awards listing, the 2017 Will Eisner Comic Industry Awards panel of judges announced its nominees for the best works in the comic book industry on Tuesday. 5 manga titles are vying for Best U.S. Edition of International Material Asia Award. And those 5 are 1. Oyasumi Punpun, or also known as Goodnight Punpun, by Injo Asano. 2nd, Orange, the complete collection volumes 1-2 by Ichigo Takano. Number 3, The Osamu Tezuka Story, a life in manga and anime by Ban Toshio and Tezuka Productions. 4, Princess Jellyfish by Higashimura Akiko. Finally, Wandering Island by Tsurute Kenji. So that's those are the 5 series. I I think almost all of these are pretty much well. So the only one that kind of I don't really know about is Wandering Island. It's whatever.
It's about an island that wanders, like the turtle thing.
Yeah, like like as
It gets lost all the time.
as you do, those things. But yeah, congratulations to those for getting the nomination, and hopefully the best series wins. Again, if you are interested in any of these series, do check them out. Next.
Wait, I'm actually right. It is about an island that wanders.
Well, I guess.
What
did
else
you-
would it? Why else would it be
I
called?
mean,
Why would it be about-
To be fair to Toast, it could be like a more vague, like it
Yeah,
could be just like a general
maybe
kind
it
of,
could be an allegory towards her plane, which is
a
called
man
Island.
that a man and island and things. Some
man.
sort of amalgam. But
Yeah,
that's
just like
weird.
fucking moving castle, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next piece of
Oh,
news. This is a little bit on the quirky end. Jerome Middle School in Idaho voted to retain the Sword Art Online Anchored light novel in its library on Monday after a student raised a concern about quote-unquote inappropriate language and drawings in the novel. The school's English department formally made the complaint.
Okay.
Look, if that's the basis of your complaint, like they were probably right. I mean, they were definitely right to keep it there because it does set the precedent of like,
Was it the one where Asuna got naked?
yeah, I think so. It says like
I don't know,
That's
dude,
the
like-
only thing I could think of.
Dude, like the
I mean,
world
just-
reconstructs itself every other volume. Asuna probably gets naked like every other chapter. Like who
Yeah.
knows, dude? Like,
That's awesome. That's great. I mean, the
Semen
dangerous,
is endlessly flowing.
yeah, the dangerous precedent it does set though is that sword art is allowed in schools. So
yeah, that was the thing. I was like,
that's
it's-
dangerous.
I would agree. I would agree that it is inappropriate language in that it's actually garbage, like, and it should not be spread in, in an educational setting.
To
But
be fair
in
to
terms
Sword
of,
Art Online, at least it's written well, unlike some other light novels that
Uh,
have such horrible
that's
grammar.
not true.
Excuse me.
Grammar-wise.
yeah, grammar-wise, yeah, no,
I don't
yeah.
know about that.
No,
Have you tried reading?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
apparently Sword Art Online was written like pretty like well, like grammar-wise, like in Japanese and stuff like that. At least it's just that the material is like garbage.
Have you tried reading other light novels? They're not so good. They're like
Yeah.
grammar-wise.
Yeah, I mean the translation is also there, but it's also like in the original Japanese it's pretty bad. But in either case, it's written it's like grammatically it's written pretty well. That's I'm definitely giving it that. But the point is, Sword Art Online, the first season was okay, but the first season was okay, but
No, it's not the first
first-
season. It's the first half of the first season.
Oh, I
The-
apologize. Yeah,
The
you're right.
first part was the greatest thing I have ever experienced.
And then they ruined it with the
And
second
then
part.
it just doesn't get very good, you know?
Yeah.
Only the first volume is worth reading of Sword Art Online. Second volume is pretty bad. It was
Yeah.
originally written as like a one-off. Anyway,
Yeah, that's
one
yeah, it
volume.
was true. Yeah,
And then after that's kind of
yeah. But yeah, so for those of you who are fans of defending Sword Art Online on international waters, international fronts,
I will say that
you
the
have to.
Aincrad arc is probably the best arc in that entire series.
Oh yeah, I agree. The first arc is the
Fine.
best arc out of the Sword Art Online things, but that's like saying, uh, he's the least fat kid in the fat camp, right? He's
Hey
the fittest
man,
kid in the fat camp, yeah.
Excel
So
World is pretty cool. Don't be dissing the pink guy.
moving on, moving on.
Did you
A
know that
little
they
bit.
take place in the same universe, Spire?
Yes,
I wish they
I
didn't
think.
exist in our universe. Okay.
I wish it didn't, but yes. Anyways, there's some updates on Hayao Miyazaki's work. Miyazaki, the man behind the I hate anime trend, right? um,
The man behind your name.
yeah, the man behind your name. Uh, he wants to show us all up by directing, drawing an actual film, unlike what these youngsters are doing these days. So he said that uh, he has a new anime short that will debut in July called Kemushi no Boro, or Boro the Caterpillar, which is a CG short, which will debut at the Ghibli Museum in Tokyo in July. However, after that, Studio Ghibli producer Suzuki Toshio firmly denied that Miyazaki can release his next proposed feature film in 2019. So they're like delaying it pretty hard. And he says that in an update,
Can't wait.
no, it gets better in the updates. So afterwards, he revealed more details about director Miyazaki's proposed feature film at the Nico Nico Chokaigi 2017 convention on Saturday. Miyazaki is drawing the storyboards for the project now, and has been since last July. However, Suzuki then said that Miyazaki has only drawn 20 minutes of storyboards so far, which is not a
Whoa,
good sign of progress towards a previously proposed 2019 date.
what are you talking about, Spire? He drew a full anime episode.
Yeah, that's true. Suzuki demurred
Not
from
even.
revealing, yeah. Suzuki demurred from revealing the feature's title, saying, "I can't tell you." When asked if Miyazaki could finish the film while the director is still alive, Suzuki replied, I don't know." um, this looks like, I don't know, like, I mean, like, not like no fun venomous. I don't know if like this looks like it might end up like fucking black holing in the hangar. Like, forget about like imploding in the hangar. Like, this will make like a black hole and sink the hangar and everything surrounding it. Like, yeah. I mean, it's pretty obvious that Miyazaki is being way too selfish, right? At this point, like, drawing his storyboards, probably doing his own direction, stuff like that, like making everybody else do the dishes for him and shit like that. But the man is old, and it's not like, movies also have gotten longer. It's not, like it's not the old days anymore, my man.
Truly, the post Miyazaki era.
It's
is
really
now.
the post Miyazaki era. Yes, the post Miyazaki era is when they reveal, like, on his like deathbed, I only wrote 30 minutes of storyboards. But yeah, what do you guys think? Is this gonna be a successful feature film? Do you think he's gonna make it in time?
Well, if it's taking him, how long has he been? How long has he?
Since last July.
Last July. So, almost a year,
Mm-hmm.
and he's written 20 minutes. That better be the most amazing,
The most
20
orgasmic 20 minutes, like
the most incredible 20 minutes I
Make-
have
we need to
ever
make,
witnessed.
we watch it and then everybody starts agreeing with Makoto Shinkai about how his movie is bad, like that good.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, what about you guys? Toast Stark?
Who cares, man? It's all about Shinkai anyway. He's the new one. He's the new fucking
You Miyazaki.
yeah, he's the new Miyazaki. So
Yeah. Toast?
Yes,
Yes, I agree.
I agree. This took what? Oh, I'm looking at this sweet figurine.
God damn it.
I totally
Anyway,
agree though.
anyways, moving
He
on.
should eat.
Yeah? What?
he should totally write the screen caps for the new Ilya movie that's coming out.
Okay, we need to move on. Anyways, this one is a even more funky thing, going along the lines of like our previous Orima discussion. The stage event for Fushimi's Kata's Manga Sensei novel series at Machi Asobi Volume 18 revealed on Friday that the Ayase route, the Yandere, essentially
Why?
friend of the main character, the main hero, route from the Ore no Imoto ga konnani kawaii wake ga nai, or Oreimo, portable PlayStation portable game, is receiving a light novel adaptation. The novel titled Ore no Ayase ga konnani kawaii wake ga nai, or also known as My Ayase Can't Possibly Be Obscured in English, will feature the revised and expanded version of Fushimi's scenario from the game's Ayase Aragaki route. Depending on fans' reactions, a second similar light novel volume may be released. It was actually a pretty decent route, but that's also because I like Ayase. I don't know. Actually, I like Sally. Sally.
Are
I
you
like
saying you
Sally
like
route
pregnant
best.
Ayase the best?
What?
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 Nothing.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
Are you
actually, like,
saying that you like pregnant Ayase the best in your Orimo games?
yes, I like it when Ayase doesn't kill me. um,
She can't
but
kill you if you're already inside her in the first place.
I like it.
Oh,
not
I'd
like
like it if
this.
she killed me.
Yeah, just stomp on my dick, fam. But the Saudi route I think was the best, but I really did like the IC route. But that aside, the game actually is still better than the light novel, so whatever. And this is the more interesting part. The event also revealed an I remember the ISA is a yandere, by the way. Before I elaborate on this, I mean I don't think I need to explain what yandere means, so I'm just gonna go on. The event also revealed an ISA quote-unquote interactive AI raising project.
oh no.
Utilizing NTT and Duango is like a database service. Nakin Shitsuman Auto, impersonating question answer service. So they're making some sort of like AI what is it? It's
Like iChannel? Keys in an eye? No.
I think Keys and I is not a fucking AI.
Why
Okay.
How do
Stop.
you know? She said she was. I believe
oh,
her.
like Jabberwocky and stuff like that. Like those sorts of programs where it's like you can ask like the AI like questions or like talk to it and then it like responds or whatever.
Like Tay.
Yeah.
Like Wilson or whatever, right? IBM. Or...
Yeah. People will submit questions and answer as ISA, and fans will choose replies that they think are appropriate to the character. An AI version of ISA will develop according to fans' responses. So they're creating this like
Wow, that seems like a really
crowdsourced-
bad idea.
I'm ready for a really racist anime girl.
really racist, depressed Nazi ISA.
Here we come.
Yeah, here we go. Honestly, I think this is a cool like project. Like I think this is honestly a cool idea. Like besides like what the community will like do in terms of like the answers, like obviously there's gonna be like one or two memes that sneak in through the door, right? But beyond that, I think the AI thing is a cool idea. I want to see what comes out of it. I really do. I think it's
You
gonna be
say
funny.
one or two memes, but keep in mind that
So far,
the internet
so far,
ruined Microsoft Tay.
so far, every single AI project that any company has ever done has turned to some sort of like Jew-hating Nazi like fucking meme.
Yeah, yeah, that is very true. Or like just like depressed and then like kills themselves or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's we'll see if the Oreimo crowd and the database people can prevent this from spiraling into yandere memes.
It'll
hope-
probably get even worse because it's that crowd, but
I
Yeah.
hope Japanese shit posters make me proud.
Yeah, please, netizens, do your job. But yeah, for those of you who are Oreimo fans, I'm not one of them. Myself, Kappa. But watch out for this AI project and the light novel spin-off based upon the official novel coming up. And the last piece of little interesting news before we get into some people stuff is actually, again, we usually don't do like manga, light novel, like releases or whatever, stuff like that. We don't usually talk about those because there's like a million of them. But there's a really funny one where it's like, the author behind Thermae Romae, and Thermae Romae is story about like Roman bathing stuff and like historical figures related to like Roman baths, like coming back
Is this
to like Japan or something like that.
Is this like those Statue Boys thing?
No, you're close. That's what I thought it was at first, but it's different. It's strictly about like some historical figures coming back and talk about like Roman bathing. The author behind that, Yamazaki Mari, is coming back and drawing a manga about the founder of Bulgari jewelry, Sotirios Vulgaris. And the manga's name is Bulgari o Tsukuta Otoko, Sotirios Vulgaris, also known as the man who made Bulgari, Sotirios Vulgaris. So I guess, yeah, the manga will center around Bulgari founder Sotirios Vulgaris as he travels back in time with 3 Japanese actresses to ancient Rome to discover the origin of Bulgari jewelry. The preview chapter is Vulgaris meeting the Roman goddess Aurora in the Baths of Caracalla, where the mosaic floors inspire the Bulgari founder to make the Diva's Dreams high jewelry line.
What? I don't understand this at all.
It's a manga about the founder of a jewelry line, and how he travels back in time to meet with 3 Japanese girls
So
to meet a Roman goddess.
with his like time necklace or something?
I guess, like I don't know.
Some magic time jewelry that he creates?
Yeah, that he creates is like it's in his fashion line. Yeah. But yeah, for those of you who are interested about the alternate history of Bulgari and how they make their jewelry lines, check this one out. And with that, we are moving finally on to the people news. Just 2 pieces of news today, or actually like 2.5, I guess. One is Hosoya Yoshimasa. The staff of voice actor Hosoya Yoshimasa reported on Monday that he's going on hiatus from work to undergo treatment for his throat after a doctor's diagnosis. He plans to return to work before the end of this year. So he did Rain or Brawn, Attack on Titan Season 2, Fumikage Tokoyami in Boku no Hero Academia, Yamato Ishida, Digimon, Kakeru Tengenji in Star Muse Season 2, blah, blah. So he again wish him the best of luck in his and quick recovery. Twin actors Manpei and Shinpei Takagi have left the entertainment industry. Both actors posted the same message. They have been considering this decision since last year and have decided to end their acting careers after age 30 in order to pursue new horizons. So the twins debut in 2005. Manpei played Retsu Fukami in Juken Sentai Geki Ranger in 2007, and Shinpei played Takeshi Momoshiro in The Prince of Tennis musical. This is a little aside, but apparently Yuki Aoi is taking a hiatus from her solo music career status, and she has also closed her fan club. She cited that she wanted to kind of take a break from her musical activities because she didn't want to do it out of habit. Dark and I were actually talking about this a little bit before the podcast, but it just kind of shows because it's like most people in the voice acting, idol, whatever industry will take any jobs. Again, for the publicity, for the money, whatever. But this shows that like Yuki Aoi rather, has become enough of a top dog to just kind of do whatever she wants, right? So, like, she's become really, really big. If this piece of news is of any note. Yeah, apparently you can close a fan club, and there are like membership fees and shit like that. So I don't know. Yeah,
Just shut it down.
That's all for now. Obviously, there's like community stuff where it's like Nya and Baka PT have shut down. If you guys know what those sites are, good for you. If you don't, ignorance is bliss. But Nya and Baka BT have been on, or not Baka BT, but
Baka
Nya.
BT is currently down for maintenance for an unspecified period of time.
Yeah.
Didn't they
Baka BT is apparently okay for now because it became like a full private tracker.
They
But,
say they're
Nya-
okay on Twitter. They seem to be having trouble finding a host. I guess.
Yeah, that's the big thing. So apparently there was like a European court decision that really fucked with Nya and Baka BT and everybody. So Nya has shut down for good. So.
The creator of Nya is basically his said it's dead. It's dead forever and it's not coming back.
Yeah.
There's apparently like magnets and stuff that are still floating around. Like
Yeah,
like,
just like
for-
what the Pirate Bay is using essentially.
yeah, just keeping the old stuff up, but
Yeah.
nothing new will be ever added to Nya anymore. So
Yeah.
if you want,
People are creating like a restoration project, and like there will be people that will create a restoration project like more like sooner rather than later. It's the demand for this is way too big. But the question is how long can they kind of like keep it under wraps is the big question.
if you need your Chinese cartoons ASAP, it's my money and I need it now. Horrible Subs is still up.
Yeah. Just be careful not to lose your IQ points along.
Desperate measures, but
Yeah.
gotta do what you
Time
gotta
for
do.
Crunchyroll.
Haha.
time for the best encodings on the planet.
Fucking Kiss Anime is still up if you're that desperate.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
the thing is, like, to the people that upload to Kiss Anime, they get their stuff from downloading. So
Oh no,
Yeah.
I know, but I'm
if
saying
all the torrent sites go down, it's not like streaming is some fucking safe haven, you know?
I know. I'm saying though, if you were desperate enough to fucking go to Crunchyroll, Kiss Anime is still up, and they're uploading horrible sub stuff. So.
but yeah, a little bit of dark times for fucking English Western audiences ahead. But we'll weather through it.
Yeah, we'll get through it together.
Yeah, we just need to shield ourselves from too much exposure to Crunchyroll. Anyways,
Sponsored by
that's-
Crunchyroll.
sponsored
Don't
by
give in to
Crunchyroll.
terrorism.
Yeah.
Or not really sponsored by Crunchyroll yet.
Yeah.
We should get sponsored by Country.
Please no. But anyways, with that, we are done for the news, and we have finally come to our shoutouts calls. Although we actually do have our sweepstakes / giveaway winners after this, which we'll announce on stream after our shoutouts calls, and we'll contact the winners shortly after this. But yeah. Anyway, shoutouts callouts. Shoutout is one thing that we want to praise, talk well about, give 10 out of 10, whatever, and it can be anything. Idea, person, flag, anime, food, whatever. And call out can be one thing you want to flame, talk badly about, do whatever, etc., etc., etc. And I guess I'll start. My shout out is to Tech of Phoenix Syndicate. They are a relatively well-known hentai / like manga scanlation team, community scanlation team,
Pervert.
and now
Pervert.
hentai. Yeah, yeah.
This is a Christian stream spire. You can't
Yeah, PG stream.
you can't have
But,
this being up here.
Yeah. So yeah. So we have that and the people from Shikimaya, and they helped us with this giveaway and helping us with an interview that we have available on our website 4PlayerAnimecast.moe. You can check out. It has a lot of really good information, a lot of detailed information about what's running on behind the scanlation team. What's it going to be like for the scanlation / translation community in the future, so on. And yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
You're
And
welcome.
that's
Arigato.
got him. And my call out. My call out is to this goddamn fucking cold I have right now, because it's not even like a full like cold where I'm just like sneezing or whatever. It's like just like like my nose is just super stuffy, and it's like I'm just slowly dying inside. And since the weather is dry, I've been having nosebleeds every once in a while. So it's like, oh my god, just kill me. So call us to this fucking stuffy nose I've had.
I love random nosebleeds. Great. Makes me
Yeah,
feel like I'm in my Japanese animes.
Yeah, exactly. I just need blood to just spurt out all over the room for it to
Yeah.
be full Japanese animes. Also, I need my hair in front of me. Anyways, Nier, shoutouts, call us, please.
Woohoo. Woohoo. I don't know what to shout out, man. Everything sucks and nothing is good. Shout outs to the Guilty Gear demo? I don't know.
Guilty Gear Rough 2 demo, yeah.
Guilty Gear sucks, but Viking's fun, I guess. Yeah.
No shout outs to fucking BlazBlue? The new port?
No. Fucking callouts to BlazBlue. Fucking Central Fiction.
Oh, this port is 50 gigs, but it only downloads 2020. Why?
Yeah. So BlazBlue Central Fiction, finally released on PC. The promised time has come, but when you download the game, it is 24 gigabytes. Steam says. And when the download finishes, it unpacks to be about 48.3 gigabytes, which is over double the size of the PS4 version. I don't know what the fuck, how you managed to do that, but yeah, that's an issue. It also apparently has some crazy anti-aliasing issues where if you run the game at anything under 1080p, I believe, it makes your eyes bleed really bad. It just looks terrible. It's just awful.
Shake my head, to be honest. I still have it though. Shake my head, to be quite honest.
Yeah, thanks, Axis. I really like
Good
it.
job localizing it. Good job, guys.
Yeah, but don't worry, guys. The Steam forums got us covered because they're bickering about the lack of a fucking dub instead of fixing the game.
Are you saying it's all in Japanese?
Yes, the Japanese game is in Japanese,
Whoa!
but that's it for me.
Dark, shout outs, call us, please.
Shout outs to the game PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. This is a very fun video game. And I'm probably about to either get killed or kill someone right now. Great game, 10 out of 10. Call outs to Toast for once again for saying that the second season of Hero Academia was going to be faster because it's not, and it's even slower than season 1 still. So, good job, Toast.
You're welcome.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having my back.
You're welcome.
Alright, and Toast.
What's up?
Shout outs and call us, please.
Oh. Sure.
Yes, those things, right? Yeah.
Oh my
My
god.
shout out is.
We do this every time.
My shout out is to this cool flashlight I got. It's pretty cool.
Flashlight? Isn't it? Wouldn't it just be a normal flashlight?
No, you know those.
Is it a flashlight? Or what's so special
You
about
know
it?
It's a
those-
flashlight with a vagina on the back of it.
Oh, okay, I apologize.
You know those fancy like pocket flashlights they have in Silent Hill that allows you to they clip into your pocket. They allow you to use both hands simultaneously.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, go on.
You guys don't remember the the box shaped flashlight?
Yes, I know what you're talking about. What's your point?
That was pretty cool, man. That's my point.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Alright.
Okay, thank you.
It lets me be hands free when I use it to battle.
When you're doing your hands for other
demons.
things, yes.
when I'm
okay, yeah,
fighting
I see.
demons.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then after that, your call out, please, Toast.
My call out is to those my call out is to those kids who were playing the football toss outside my window this afternoon.
Fuck. Okay.
It wasn't cool, man.
Okay.
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 All right.
you,
Good.
Toast.
They were being
Yeah, got 'em.
they were being pretty loud.
All right.
Did you
Alright,
shake your
guys.
fist at them?
Yeah,
Tell them to
man.
get off your lawn?
Yeah. Remember that scene in the room where they were playing the football toss in the park? It's kind of like that, except they weren't as
Okay.
funny.
All right.
So I was like,
Okay.
why are you making me watch why are you reminding me of that scene in the room where they're playing the football toss?
Is that
I
why you
feel
got
like-
angry?
I feel like everything in life reminds you of the room, Toast.
That's
I mean, I am in a
Kinda.
room right now.
wow. Wow. That's so clever of you.
And,
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I do have a doggy.
It's
Hi,
deep.
doggy. It's pretty cool.
Anyways, moving on. Thank you for your shout outs to us as well as your Dark.
Did you see that? Did you see that sweet Star Wars featuring Tommy Wiseau that they released like yesterday? Pretty cool.
No.
Moving
No.
on.
Shout outs to the room.
Shout
Here,
outs
let
to
me
the
get.
room.
Let me bring it up.
Anyways, while Toast is bringing that up again, thank you everybody to all the viewers on stream and listeners out there. We are actually going to announce the winners right now for the giveaway. Again, each person will receive a random Faku code for the Dojin.
What's Faku Spire?
Faku is a paid service, hentai scanlation, translation / digital copies website. They also have like novelty physical copies and like merchandise on their site, but it's mainly about like digital stuff like that.
They got the Mega Milk T-shirt.
Yeah,
That's pretty
so
cool.
they translate dojins digitally and then they put them out. Good quality. It is a paid service. They work directly with Japanese companies and the original artists to deliver the goods. And we are also working with Shikimaya, a separate service, but they kind of publish their stuff through Faku. And they're also working, hard with dojin artists and stuff like that to bring people quality goods. But anyways, people will get digital copies of Shikimaya / Faku translated dojins, and you can redeem those at Faku and read them, peruse them at your leisure, do whatever. So that's that, and here are the 10 winners. I'll just announce, I guess, the usernames or whatever, emails, kind of stuff. So
By the way, we're
And-
not sponsored by Faku.
yeah, we're not sponsored by Faku, so don't direct your hate towards us too much. But okay, so going through, ATH Mao, number 1, number 2, 10 Citizens, that's with the number 10, Tittenfass, Titnfass, and then Sulaiman Maklofi, Adriel 1086, Bob Weave, Some 2009-1, Wixterry 24, Matt 69 1997, and D Heightsman 12. So those are your winners, and again, we will contact you through email or wherever shortly after the stream is over. So again, if you do not get your prizes / codes within a couple of days, please do contact us, like DM us through Twitter if possible, and we'll get to you shortly. And with that, we are done with this episode. It's been quite a long time, at least for me, since I'm fucking pooped out from this fucking sickness.
What are you?
Fucking
Are
shit.
you? What are you sick with, Spire?
Sick you.
I'm down with
Hey,
that
Jesus.
too.
pretty good.
But anyways, again, thank you again for all the viewers and listeners to the podcast that stuck with us. We do this live recording of our podcast every other Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about the latest and greatest in anime and manga, web novels, light novels, etc., visual novels, etc., etc., etc. We also do interviews with like community workers, translators, people working with manga, anime, other stuff, as well as do side casts with regards to reaction casts, post-mortem kind of stuff, visual novel casts especially. We've been trying to do a lot more of those recently, and those will also be available on our Twitch TV / 4PlayerAnimecast, as well as our hitbox at 4PlayerAnimecast, and on our website 4PlayerAnimecast.moe. These are all with a number 4. To check out our updates, later giveaways, whatever events, when our stream is coming up, all these kinds of things. Check us out on our social media at Twitter at 4PPAnimeCast, also with the number 4, and on our Facebook 4PlayerAnimeCast. So again, number of resources available. Times will also always be updated, on our Twitch page, or you'll get updates whenever on our social media. So again, check us out there, check us out here. Until next time.
Sayonara.
Okay. All right.
Anime suck.